very good.
Righto, well, moving on. McDonald's is Australia's biggest beef customer with 75 million kilograms purchased last year alone. More than half of that is exported, served up in burger patties at 65% of Macca's restaurants globally. Tom Marnie is the supply chain manager, joins me live. Tom, Macca's has a hell of an appetite for Aussie beef, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do. We use a lot here domestically, Andrea, across our 1,000 plus restaurants in this country. So about 33,000 out of that 33,000 tonnes are used here in Australia, and then about another 42,000 goes out across the globe to a lot of markets in Asia and up into the US as well.
Now, we had the PM on before, and he was obviously a former Macca's employee. He didn't know what was the most popular burger, but he did have a special chant, the Big Mac chant he could actually recite. We'll play that now.
Hang on, do I get a bonus point for being able to say?
Go on, I'll give you a bonus point if you can get it one more time.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Macca's, here's your guy.
I get one.
Question 3.
I get the point for that.
You will, sorry. Question 3. Very good. Now, he says that they actually got stopped from buying any or getting any more because they were going into all the Maccas, but that's still going, right?
Yeah, we're doing a promo actually, so I don't know if you timed the Prime Minister, but if he was able to do it under 4 seconds, we probably owe him a small prize with the promotion that we've got going. So we'll have to catch up with him later to make sure he gets his prize for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll take that with open hands. Now, where in Australia do you source your beef from?
Yeah, you know, we take a lot of beef into our supply chain. Obviously, those volumes that I mentioned earlier means there's a lot of cattle coming from landholders right across the country. So every state and territory have cattle that end up in our supply chain. So many thousands of landholders out there that have cattle and meat that ends up in a Macca's beef patty.
Why is Aussie beef, I guess, a choice globally over other areas such as maybe closer to the US? Yeah,
it's definitely a really important origin for beef within our world. You know, we use a lot of Macca's in our Macca's restaurants around the globe. You know, it's really, I don't think anyone at Beef Week would disagree with me when I say the high quality that we're able to achieve with Aussie beef. You know, it's particularly important to us. We want our Big Macs and our cheeseburgers to taste exactly the same every time our 2 million customers a day come into our restaurants in Australia. So to do that, we need really high quality beef coming in, and that's a big reason why we use so much Aussie beef around the world.
What makes a good candidate?
Well, you know, we think about a lot of things. Obviously, food safety and quality is critical. You know, we need to make sure that we're delivering on our customers' expectations of a great experience and a great tasting burger when they come into McDonald's. So we spend a lot of time working with our suppliers in collaboration to set up, you know, all of those key metrics around quality and around that exact taste that we're looking for in our beef.
We know one big one at the moment is all about deforestation. Macca's making that global commitment to eliminate it from your supply chains by 2030. What exactly, or how exactly do you define deforestation? Yeah,
so I mean, we've made that commitment, as you said, to you know, having deforestation-free supply chains that we're sourcing our beef from globally. And you know, here in Australia, we're aligned to the ABSF guidelines around what that looks like. So really that's what we're working from at the moment, and you know, absolutely a lot of conversation around the grounds here at Beef Week around what that might look like going forward, but that's really how we work through that commitment.
How do you ensure that beef producers won't be punished for producing beef in those areas?
Yeah, it's not really you know, part of how we go about working with our suppliers. You know, we've been in Australia for more than 50 years, and really we work on partnerships and long-term relationships with our suppliers, so we don't move our business around really quickly. And so I think, you know, we'll take a long-term approach to this and make sure that we do what we need to do in partnership with the industry to achieve the results that we're all looking for. You know, I'd also say, you know, we've got a lot of volume that we need to go and procure, so it's not in our best interest to have parts of the supply chain that we can't access. So we're absolutely wanting to work with every producer to get to where we want to get to be able to have the volume of beef coming into our restaurants that we need.
So is the ABSF definition per se, is that where it stands, or is that somewhat changeable?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely where our commitment is aligned to at this stage. And as I said, you know, there's lots of conversations around what that might look like going forward, and we've got a really important role to play in those conversations, as we've done for more than a decade with the Australian beef industry on all manner of sustainability conversations. I think importantly, we're also got some boots on the ground on sustainability at the moment. We just last year launched what we're calling our Tassie to Townsville project, where we've got really working closely with 45 farmers across the east coast of Australia to work through some of these conversations around sustainability. So we absolutely want to do it in partnership with our suppliers and with the farmers to ensure that we're all getting there together.
In terms of, I guess, the catchment areas you talk about when you put that lens on,
Yeah.
are we talking individual producers, or are we talking postcodes or larger regions?
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely a job for the whole industry to do around exactly
But when
that.
you apply the deforestation, I guess, lens, do you rule someone out because someone else in their postcode couldn't meet your standard, or?
We don't rule anyone out, so we as I said, working through to get really all the beef we can and work together with the producers and with industry. I think everyone knows that the data today is quite high level, so it's postcode level data. That informs us, but it doesn't inform our buying decisions, as we stand today.
And will that change by 2030?
Well, we've got to work through what that looks like. As we were just chatting, there's a lot of conversations around what that definition might evolve to, but today we're well on our way based on the commitments that we already have and the data that we have access to.
Tom Marnie, thank you so much for your time on Beef TV.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Well, we are off to a break, but on the other side, the two sisters who are taking matters into their own hands.
At Macca's, we're continuing to source 100% Aussie-grown beef, chicken and eggs.
On it. He's on it too.
Changing for the better? We're on it.